Hello, everyone. It feels like such a long time since Christmas, doesn't it? I've been really enjoying this new email newsletter format of providing market updates once a month and then 2 weeks later featuring a new home or a new townhome development. But I have to say that I felt quite frustrated this past Christmas. As many of you know, every Christmas I really enjoy hand delivering Christmas cards to family, friends, clients, and this year, because of COVID, I just didn't think it was appropriate. In fact, I have not been door knocking since March of last year when we first got the news of COVID. So I've really missed seeing everyone. It feels weird for me not actually being able to get out and see everyone and catch up. Door knocking is how I built my real estate business, and for me, it's allowed me to meet some amazing people over the years. You know, people always say, Kevin, how can you knock on someone's door, somebody that you don't know? And I always say, I have met some of the nicest, most amazing people who have become clients and who have become friends from door knocking. And these are people I would have never met unless I had the courage to just walk up, knock on the door and say, hi, my name is Kevin. I'm a realtor. I work in the area and I just wanted to introduce myself. And you know what? People don't slam their door in my face. I have to admit, over the last 15, 16 years, I've had a couple, but very rarely. And I don't take it personally. I just assume they're having a bad day, or maybe they had a bad experience with a realtor before. But 9 out of 10 people, they're quite nice, just like you are. It's quite refreshing. So enough of that. I just wanted to kind of say hello and catch up with you and let you know that yes, Christmas was frustrating for me, but you are here right now probably wondering, when it comes to real estate and the markets, Kevin, what the heck is going on? And as per usual, there's so much conflicting news out there. In fact, I was just talking to a very good friend of mine who happens to be a client yesterday about this, about how these so-called experts, these gurus, these influencers are out there talking about the possibility of a housing market crash in 2021. And here's my thoughts on the matter. It's irresponsible and misleading, and I think it's clickbait. And I'm going to show you stats in the moment, and we'll discuss what's happening with the market. But the market is very healthy, and quite honestly, the market's on fire right now. Single-family home sales are up 52% over last year's January. 52%. It's huge. And they are up 36% over the 10-year January sales average. So the market is doing just fine. In fact, I would say it's on fire. And I honestly feel like these doomsayers are doing it for exposure. They're doing it for clicks. And, you know, in our society, you don't get the exposure or the clicks for telling the truth. That's what it's all about. My videos don't go viral. Who wants to read something that people already know? Of course, that makes sense. But the guy who says the market's going to crash gets your attention. And then, of course, you're going to read about it. And so he gets the clicks and he gets the views. But here's the problem. One, it's disingenuous and it's misleading and it's false. And two, last year I had 4 buyers in the spring who were, pre-approved, ready to go, wanted to buy. And they dropped out of the market. They didn't purchase because they thought the market was going to, was in a bubble and it was going to correct itself or it was going to crash. And they waited and they waited. Well, now those buyers are even further behind the 8 ball because they decided to wait and because they trusted in somebody who's supposedly an expert, who is basically preying on people's fears and using stats and data that seems on the outside to back up what they're saying. But I cannot stress this enough. The market is healthy. Interest rates are low. We have a vacancy problem. We have a problem of supply and demand. There is not enough supply for the demand that's out there. That's it. And if you look at the rental market, it's the same thing. uh, and I've covered this in other videos, but the average vacancy rate right now is at 0.5%. Normally it's a 4.5. So even your rents are high because of this. So housing affordability in the Lower Mainland is directly attributable to supply and demand. And as long as you have so much demand and so little supply, prices are going to go up. That's simple economics. Whew, okay, so hopefully I covered the answer to that. And it's going to get worse. As I've covered in other videos, the government of Canada, in all of their wisdom, has embraced this growth model to pay taxes, to pay down the debt that they're incurring. So their answer is not raising our taxes. Their answer is to increase our population to 100 million. Well, we're at 38 million right now. If you double, more than double our population, where are all those people going to live? They're not going to live in the Yukon and the Northwest Territories. They're going to be in Vancouver, Lower Mainland, Toronto, big centers, Montreal. And again, it's just going to put more pressure on the supply that's already here. So enough of that. I've been pounding this. You know, when I first got into real estate 16 years ago, I'm going on my 17th year, they were talking about a bubble back then. Every year that I've been in real estate, somebody is talking about the bubble, and somebody's talking about the bubble bursting, somebody's talking about a market correction every single year. And the fact of the matter is, they've been wrong. Even in 2008, in August 2008, when we had that crash, and it was, basically the mortgage crisis in the States, our market only dropped about 10%. House prices, on average, only dropped about 10%. And in 2 years, we were back to going straight up again. So the fact of the matter is, we've been in a bubble, supposedly by the experts, for 10, 15, 20 years now. And my thinking is we're not in a bubble. This is directly attributable to government policy and interest rates and supply and demand. That's it. We have not enough supply for the demand. We have historically low interest rates, which is driving people to saying, listen, why rent? My mortgage is $1,100 a month. Why would I rent? It makes no sense for me to be a renter. So anyways, so again, I don't want to get too much into this. I've covered in other videos. I feel very strongly about this. And the reason why I feel so strongly about this, because I know people that are renting. And I want to just grab them and shake them and go, what are you doing? You know, it makes so much sense to buy. If you can afford to buy, get in. And, you know, people will say, well, you know, there's not something that I want out there. You know what? I didn't buy my dream home. That's not what I bought. I bought a home to get in the market, let the market take me up and build equity, and then in 5 or 10 years, I will buy my dream home. That's the smart way to do it. But, you know, we seem to live in this society where everybody wants what they want, and they want it right now. So enough of that. So let's take a look at the data. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a 3-year graph to show the pricing history of single-family homes. I would like to go further back, but you know, the thing is, it'll give you the idea that I want you to get, which is house prices are going up. 3 years ago, the average price for a 3-bedroom home on a 7,000 square foot lot in Surrey was just under $1.1 million. Wow. And now it's over 1.2 million and it's climbing. And the reason why I like to use Surrey as an example is because it's right in the middle of Vancouver and in the middle of Chilliwack. So, and the problem for me, the challenge for me, is that I have clients all over the Lower Mainland. I have clients in Surrey, Langley, Cloverdale, White Rock, Chilliwack, Abbotsford. New West, Burnaby, Vancouver. Where else do I have clients? Tsawwassen, Maple Ridge, all over. So the reason why I like to focus on Surrey is because if I focused on every city where I have clients, because I want all my clients to get something out of this information, the problem is if I covered homes, condos, townhomes, homes on acreages, and all my different clients, this video would be an hour. And trust me, it would be boring. So I'm just going to go in the middle, go down to Surrey. And if you have a specific question about your area or your type of home that you live in, please shoot me an email or give me a call. I'd love to chat with you. See what's happening in Surrey. It's up over 1.2, and if you see the graph, it's going crazy. Well, and I've always said this, let's take Chilliwack as a comparable. A comparable 3-bedroom home in Chilliwack on the same size lot is selling for just under $700,000. So if you're willing to make that move to Chilliwack, you can save about $500,000 on a comparable single-family home. More and more of my clients are actually selling their homes in Surrey, Langley, Vancouver. They're taking their equity, they're paying off their debts, and they're buying more house for their dollar in Chilliwack. It just, economically, it just makes sense. So we are finding Chilliwack right now is booming. It is on fire. And it's because of this. You can get so much more home for your dollar, and more people are working from home. So what is my advice for you and your family? Well, as always, as I said before, my advice changes for everyone depending on your own unique situation. My goal is never to tell you what to do. You have, your own research. You can see what's going on and you can decide what's best for your family. But my goal is to give you what I think is the best information available and to help you make the best decision for you and your family. So thanks for tuning in. As always, I am only a phone call or email away, and I always look forward to your calls. And I always appreciate your referrals. Referrals are the lifeblood of my business. So if you know of somebody who's thinking about buying or selling, please pass along one of my videos or pass along my name and number to them and have them give me a call. I would really appreciate it. Until the next time that we chat, have a great day and take care.